For me, a truly great game is one that stays with you long after you've put it down. If I finish a game and a week later I can't remember the story, the characters, or even how it felt to play, it just didn't make the cut. The 15 games on this list are different. These are the ones that stand leagues above the rest. Let's get into it. First up, we've got The Witcher 3. This is the game that shows up on every best of all time list and still somehow deserves to be there. It's the one your mate won't shut up about, the one that keeps you reinstalling, the one that actually lived up to the hype. What makes it a classic? It's the way that you can lose a whole evening just wandering through the woods or chasing some cursed spirit and come out of it feeling like you've just watched a full season of prestige TV. It's how even a throwaway contract ends up being some emotional gut punch, and Geralt's the glue that holds it together. Stoic, tired, weirdly compassionate. The dude's been through it and you feel it every mile. The Witcher 3 isn't a game of the year kind of good, it's a this changed how I look at games kind of good. You start Red Dead Redemption 2 robbing a train, then you blink and you're bathing in a wooden tub while arguing with a guy named Lenny in a saloon. It's massive, moody, and weirdly obsessed with detail. You play as Arthur Morgan, a gruff outlaw with a conscience, slowly watching the world change and his gang fall apart. It's not a quick ride. You'll spend hours hunting elk, brushing your horse, or getting into fistfights because someone didn't like your hat. The writing is top tier, the acting is film level, the world is insanely alive. You can ignore the main story for 40 hours and still come back to something better than most games, and when the story does hit, it hits like a train. This isn't just cowboys and gunfights, it's one of the most detailed and human open worlds ever made. Cyberpunk 2077 had a rough debut, there's no denying it, but after updates, patches, and Phantom Liberty, it's finally the game it was always supposed to be, and you should absolutely be adding it to your list. Night City is jaw-droppingly detailed. Neon alleys, corporate towers, grime, and luxury mashed together in a way that feels deliberate, like someone built every corner with a story in mind. Your V, Merc, Rebel, whatever you make them, dealing with body mods, AI ghosts, and choices that carry real emotional weight. The quests aren't fluff, they're honestly some of the best written missions I've ever played. The late game story writing is off the charts. Give this one at least 10 hours to hook you, because when it does, it hooks you hard. Half-Life 2 is one of those games where the moment you pick it up, it just grabs you and doesn't let go. Released back in 2004, it was a revolution in first-person storytelling that still holds up today. You're Gordon Freeman, a silent scientist thrust into a world under brutal alien occupation, and the game never once breaks immersion to explain itself. It just drops you in and trusts you to keep up. The physics engine alone was a landmark moment for the medium. Using the gravity gun to hurl saw blades at enemies never gets old. But it's the atmosphere, the world building, and the relentless sense of forward momentum that make this one legendary. Half-Life 2 didn't just set the bar for FPS games, it built an entirely new one. When I played The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, I couldn't help but feel like it captured what a great video game is truly meant to be. It's overflowing with creativity, packed into a tiny Switch cartridge, and somehow manages to be both deeply entertaining and emotionally nostalgic. Few games in recent memory have brought back that childlike sense of wonder the way this one did. Link's new abilities completely transform how you approach puzzles, opening the door to endless possibilities. The world is vast, full of secrets, and entirely yours to explore, at whatever pace you choose. And the moment you step off that plateau and see the world stretching out in every direction, That feeling is something you genuinely never forget. Now, a heavy hitter in the RPG genre, and possibly one of my favourite games of all time. Elden Ring is a masterclass in game design, brought to you by the creators of Dark Souls and Bloodborne. It's a challenging open-world RPG set in the hauntingly beautiful world of the Lands Between, and nothing really compares to the sense of discovery you get here. The world is crafted with perfection, vast, full of secrets, and entirely up to you to explore. There's no hand-holding. Instead, the game encourages you to find your own path, whether that's by battling formidable bosses or uncovering hidden dungeons. Combat is tough, fair, rewarding, and full of options. The difficulty is part of what makes it so satisfying, and if you haven't played it yet, now is the time. Mass Effect is one of gaming's most celebrated trilogies, though the original entry can feel dated by modern standards. While the first game laid the groundwork with its ambitious world building and rich sci-fi setting, it was Mass Effect 2 that truly elevated the series into legendary territory. The sequel refines almost every aspect of its predecessor: characters, storytelling, tension, and player choice, resulting in one of the finest RPGs ever made. The cast is packed with memorable personalities, the narrative keeps the stakes high throughout, and the finale remains one of the most satisfying conclusions in gaming. Mass Effect 2 stands as the high point of the trilogy and one of the greatest sequels ever created. The Last of Us is a raw, emotional journey that remains one of gaming's most powerful storytelling achievements. Set in a brutal, post-pandemic world, it follows Joel and Ellie through a landscape filled with danger, loss, and difficult choices. The gameplay combines stealth, crafting, and intense combat, but it's the narrative and character development that leave the lasting impression. Joel and Ellie feel less like video game characters and more like real people navigating impossible circumstances. Few games have delivered a finale as memorable or emotionally impactful, and there's a reason the story successfully made the leap to television. The Last of Us is an experience that lingers long after the credits roll. Dungeons & Dragons' influence on gaming is impossible to overstate, but Larian Studios' multi-award-winning Baldur's Gate 3 has set a new benchmark for tabletop-inspired RPGs. Its turn-based combat is among the best in the genre, while its branching narrative and extraordinary level of player freedom allow for wildly different experiences with each playthrough. The depth of interaction, relationships, storytelling, and role-playing possibilities make it feel genuinely transformative. Baldur's Gate 3 isn't just one of the best RPGs of recent years, it's one for the history books. BioShock is one of those games that grabs attention from the moment players descend beneath the ocean and doesn't let go until the credits roll. Rapture, a crumbling underwater utopia gone horribly wrong, remains one of the most atmospheric and brilliantly realised settings in gaming. The Art Deco architecture, flickering lights, and audio diaries scattered throughout all contribute to a world rich with environmental storytelling. On the surface, it's a shooter, but beneath that lies a philosophical exploration of power, freedom, and the consequences of unchecked ideology. The Big Daddies alone have become iconic gaming figures. BioShock is the rare game that provokes thought as effectively as it delivers action, and that combination is what makes it timeless. Skyrim remains one of the most liberating open-world experiences ever created. The game offers unparalleled freedom. Joining the Thieves Guild, hunting dragons, becoming a vampire, embracing lycanthropy, or simply wandering the wilderness are all equally valid paths. Combat may not be the game's strongest feature, but exploration is where Skyrim truly excels. Hidden dungeons, forgotten ruins, unexpected encounters, and countless stories waiting to be discovered continue to draw players back more than a decade after release. Despite its age, Skyrim remains one of gaming's defining open-world adventures. Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater is proof that Hideo Kojima was operating on a completely different level in 2004. Set during the Cold War in the jungles of the Soviet Union, it tells a story of loyalty, sacrifice, and the cost of following orders through one of gaming's most entertaining espionage narratives. As Naked Snake, players must survive in the wilderness, hunt for food, evade enemies, and dismantle a nuclear weapons program across a series of increasingly memorable set pieces. The boss battles remain some of the finest examples of gameplay and storytelling working in harmony. Its final act stands among the most emotional endings in gaming history, balancing absurdity and heartbreak in a way few creators could manage. Only Kojima could make something this ridiculous feel so profound. Portal 2 is a puzzle game that somehow manages to be one of the funniest, most inventive, and most emotionally satisfying games ever made. Its core mechanic, placing portals to navigate and solve increasingly complex spatial puzzles, remains one of the most elegant concepts in gaming history. The writing elevates the experience even further, with GLaDOS, Wheatley, and Cave Johnson standing among gaming's most memorable characters. The cooperative mode introduces an entirely new layer of puzzle solving, while maintaining the same razor-sharp humour. Every aspect of Portal 2, design, pacing, music, gameplay, and comedy works in perfect harmony. It's as close to a flawless game as the industry has produced. God of War is the rare reinvention that completely redefines a franchise while retaining everything that made it special. Kratos and Atreus' journey explores family, fate, grief, and responsibility against a backdrop of Norse mythology and spectacular action. The combat is weighty and satisfying, the world is packed with meaningful side content, and the cinematic presentation ranks among the best in gaming. And at the heart of it all is the ever-evolving relationship between father and son, which gives the adventure its emotional core. By the time the credits roll, it stands as one of the most impressive and emotionally resonant action-adventure games ever made. And finally, Fallout New Vegas. Fallout 4 may receive praise for its polish, and Fallout 3 for its nostalgia, but Vegas is often remembered for its soul. Set in the sun-scorched Mojave wasteland, the game focuses less on rebuilding civilization and more on deciding who should control its future. The writing is sharp, the factions are layered and morally complex, and almost every major decision carries meaningful consequences. There are rarely obvious right answers or clean heroic outcomes, only difficult choices and their aftermath. The dialogue system rewards curiosity and intelligence, while side quests ranging from the quiet streets of Novak to the political intrigue of the New Vegas Strip rank among the finest in RPG history. Fallout New Vegas simply doesn't invite players into its world, it challenges them to shape it. And that's the list, 15 games that don't just entertain, they leave a lasting impact long after the credits roll. Whether someone has experienced all 15 or only a handful, there's a strong case for every title here being considered essential gaming. For anyone still working for a backlog, any one of these games would be a worthy place to start. Drop a like if you enjoyed this one, subscribe for more, and let us know in the comments which of these deserves the top spot.